morning and welcome to my morning drive. I'm James Creek as usual, and today I want to talk about 3 words that I heard about 2 years ago put to use that I think would help some people. PMA was something that I heard from Gerald Swindell, who's a professional fisherman, but PMA stands for positive mental attitude, which is the three words we're going to talk about today. And he was talking about it in a fishing sermon, a lecture that he was giving, and he talked about how when he was fishing, he didn't like to go fishing with people who, when they got on their boat, was just in crappy attitudes. And I remember hearing that when I worked for the hardware store that I worked for a while back. Get over here so the sun's not completely trying to kill you. When I worked for the hardware store that I worked for, I vividly remember being in a just crap mood one day, and I had heard that slogan. I'd heard it, and I figured, I'll write it down, and I'll think about that. I ended up having so many bad days at that place that I wrote it on my hand with a Sharpie every single day, and it was big enough to cover the palm of my hand, or the back of my hand. And people at work for a while, laughed about it, but then you would go to work and somebody be in a bad mood, and you'd hear somebody say, "Hey, PMA," So the three, those 3 little words, positive mental attitude, I had to basically say to myself today. I didn't write it on my hand, but my night started out fairly well. I had a pretty good evening, hung out at home and stayed around the house, didn't do a whole lot, just kind of relaxed, took it easy, and the drive to work was okay, just listen to music, sing along, scream, whatever, whatever's, I get to work, everything's normal. I'm actually a little bit better mood than I normally am, and about 40 minutes into my shift, I drop product, and that doesn't sound like a whole big deal. When you drop it from a certain height, it destroys the product, most of it, and you have to throw it away. And it doesn't sound like a big deal, but when you work for the company I work for, you're based on a time that until your shift ends, you're based on how many times you move and how fast you move, and you have to hit a certain number or it doesn't look good, and you suffer the consequences for it. But I remember when I dropped that first load, and I just got ticked because I couldn't understand how it happened, because I did everything right. I actually had a really good forklift. I didn't have to worry about anything being bad. Just one of them freak accidents, man. You got all the way up there and just fell over and hit that. And I kind of got down for the first, until my break was about 45 minutes away. So first break, I just kind of sat in the break room and just sat there and thought about it. And funny enough, in my news feed on YouTube for recommended videos was that same video I watched with Gerald Swindell, where he talked about positive mental attitude. And I watched it again. It was 15 minutes, the exact length of my break. And I got back on the forklift and basically made up most of the time that had been wasted trying to fix the problem. And I looked at my score at the end of the night, and it was above what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be awful. So, all in all, my day was pretty good. It could have been worse, but the point of the video is PMA, positive mental attitude. There's going to be times in life where, and especially for me, I go through depression pretty bad, and most of the time music cures that. I can listen to music and it'll be okay, but there's just sometimes you just kind of get down. And I remember Roger had given Roger Clark, who you're going to hear me talk about a whole lot on this channel. And for those of you who are just recently watching this, it's the guy who basically showed me everything it was to know about fishing, and he became a really good friend of mine, and it still is. And but he told me one time, he said, "Let me give you a scenario." And the scenario was, only you can make you happy. That was the scenario. And the thing behind it was, he said, okay, say you're sitting on the couch at home and you're bored and there's nothing else to do. Let me bring this in. I don't know if you can actually hear me. That stupid window sealed right. But he talked about he talked about, you know, say that I'm sitting on a couch at home and I have nothing to do, I'm bored, I'm bummed out because I'm bored, and all of a sudden Roger calls me and says, hey, I got tickets to a Cardinals game or a Braves game or whatever, you want to go tomorrow? And all of a sudden I get really excited, but nothing physically happened to make me happy. I heard, hey, I'm going to do something tomorrow, and I got excited, but I made myself that way, you know. So it comes down to the fact, you know, are you going to let things beat you up, or are you going to, you know, move on and get better? And that's what it boils down to. It boils down to, are you going to let yourself mentally get beat by the game, you know, per se, or are you going to pick up your ball and go? You know, that's what it boils down to. And you know, I have no, you know, urge against people who can't, because there's some days I can't. There's some days I can't just tell myself, you know, oh, you know, cheer up, get over it. You know, some days you just don't, and that's perfectly fine. It's a natural thing. But you know, more often than not, you can probably cheer yourself up and get yourself motivated and get yourself moving. But guys, just remember PMA, and next time you're feeling down, just maybe you have to say it to yourself, write on your hand, you know, whatever. But you know, whatever works best for you. But I'm gonna head on home, guys. You know, try and enjoy this really pretty day in Tennessee. I know you guys probably can't see it in the background, but it actually felt really good. And that's a first for a while in this state, because it was really humid for a while, and it actually felt really good today with a little cross breeze. So I may vlog a little later on, I don't know, but if I don't, you know, you guys have a good day, and you know, leave me some topics in the comments of stuff you want to talk about, or you want to hear me my opinions on, or stuff you want to talk about in these videos. So guys, as always, you have a good day.